What's going on, you guys? Mr. Mooney1235 here, back yet again for another album review. Green Day, Demolicious. Well, you guys, it looks like Green Day themselves got a little bit tired of all the "I missed the old stuff" comment, because they themselves went and took a few songs from the trilogy, put them on this album, and totally just stripped them of all the nice, clean production that you find on the original version of these songs, and made them sound like something that they would record back in 1992. Yes! This album is legit just the trilogy songs, Dookie-fied. When I first heard this thing, I honestly was not sure what I was going to get. Was I going to get some really ass rough cuts of these songs? Maybe a few false starts in there where the band starts playing, one of them screw up, and then they restart the song over again? That's what I thought this album was going to be, but no. This album is exactly what I just said. It's just Dookie-fied versions of all the trilogy songs. And then one brand new song, and then one song that's in acoustic form. And I'm going to be honest with you, after listening to this thing, it's going to be so hard for me to go back to the original trilogy and listen to some of these songs, because I love the freaking punk rock versions of these songs. If Uno, Dos, and Tres were pop punk, this is definitely back to more punk. And I think it makes for a really enjoyable record that old school fans are going to love. There are a few minimal changes to some of these songs, like the bass line that actually starts off the song Baby Eyes, which is totally awesome because Mike's bass sounds great right here. A few lyric changes, you can tell maybe they hadn't written out the lyrics all the way. At the end of every song, maybe there's a snippet, you can hear the band talking after the song gets done performed. At the end of Carpe Diem, one of them actually says, "Yeah, Trey Cool in the house!" So it's really entertaining to kind of hear the band in between each song. State of Shock, the unreleased song that showed up on this thing, easily sounds like it could be put on like Kerplunk or Dookie, I'm not even kidding. And it's a really cool song. It's not one of my favorite Green Day songs, and it doesn't really do anything to stand out amongst the track listing here, just because I prefer the trilogy songs so much more. But it's really cool to see an old school Green Day song showing up on something brand new from them. And then the acoustic version of Stay the Night that ends out this album, there's something just so emotional. I mean, like, the guitar just sounds so imperfect. There's a few wrong chords that get played, it sounds like sometimes, but I love that about it. It just, you know, it's just raw, bare bones, and it's really cool to hear something like that. Oh Love sounds so much better on this thing than it did on the original trilogy. Sex, Drugs, and Violence sounds a whole lot more pumped up. The only thing that disappoints me a little bit is the tempo has been turned down on Carpe Diem and Little Boy Named Train, and that really annoys the hell out of me. They should have increased the tempo. That would have made the song so much better. But other than that, the rest of the songs on this album are just so cool to actually hear them being performed in the old school Green Day way with the production that they had back in the early 90s. I love this album for it. I think it's a great alternative, and it's going to turn back on some old school Green Day fans that might have dismissed the trilogy songs. So many people are going to love these versions so much better, and they'll probably never return to Uno, Dos, and Tres after hearing this. It's going to be hard for me on certain songs, but I still feel like I'm going to be listening to the original trilogy as well. This is not going to replace them or anything, but there are some songs that really impressed me on this thing. So check it out. If you're an old school Green Day fan and you've been listening to it for a while, I'm sure you're going to love this. Mr. Money1235, I'll see you guys later.